Hey guys, it's Ivy. I've gotten a lot of questions lately asking how you can tell if an LPS is real or fake. And after I got a question about it on my TikTok, I decided to make a little video trying to give you guys some tips on how you can tell. But I do want to preface this that there are actually verified authenticators within the LPS community. So if you've used all of these tips and others and you still aren't sure if the LPS you're looking at is real or fake, do not hesitate to post in one of our Facebook groups or something and ask for a verified authenticator to confirm, because they will do that and they are so good at their jobs. That being said, the tips that I'm including in this are just ones that I have learned, ones that have been told to me. So if there's any that I don't mention that you find really helpful, please comment them, and if there's enough, I might even make a part 2 with all of that. So I hope this will be helpful to you guys, and let's get started. To start with, the most common way I usually can tell if an LPS is real or fake is that fake LPS tend to have white neck pegs. You see that there, or like semi-translucent ones. Let me see if I have one that's more like that. That one's a little bit better. These LPS are fake, but their pegs will usually look something like that, whereas with real LPS, they have semi-translucent and clear pegs. Like her here, if you can see, there we go. Her neck peg is clear. The peg itself that goes from the head into the body is clear. So that is usually your number one identifier. However, that is not always the case, because some fake LPS, such as this one, can have clear pegs, and some authentic LPS, like this one, can have white pegs. Authentic LPS began having white pegs around 2009. So if your pet was released in 2009 or thereafter, it might come with a white peg and it would still be real, such as all these mommy and baby sets. They're all real, but they do have the white pegs. So that's the first thing you can look at, but do keep in mind that it's not always correct, because some fakes have clear pegs, some authentics have white pegs. However, another way that you can tell using the pegs is that fake LPS tend to have what we call helicopter head. So their heads will just go around and around and around, and there is no resistance whatsoever. Let me show you, this one makes me laugh. He has a severe case of helicopter head. Whereas with authentic LPS, their heads will bobble, you can move them, but if you want to turn them, they are going to resist. And with most pets, you can't turn them all the way around, or if you do, they will lock. Like this one will turn all the way around. Here I have another example of a fake one and a real one. Helicopter head all the way around easily. Whereas this one, you turn and it wants to stop. Same, it turns, wants to stop. And this one doesn't want to go all the way around, and if I do that, the peg will likely get stuck, the spring in the peg. So that is another way that you can tell using the pegs. The next thing that I look at is their painted details. Authentic older LPS have a lot of airbrushing on them, whereas fake LPS are sticker painted or just factory painted. And so there will be a lot of sharp edges, no like soft feathering like you'll see on the older ones. You can see how the paint kind of just blends into the body, and their eyelashes and stuff are softer. They're not super sharp. Some of them are sharper than others, but not usually. And their paint will come off super easily. Whereas with fake LPS, they have sticker eyes. All of their paint ends with super sharp lines. There's no soft edges, no feathering. And also with older authentic LPS, there will be variations in how they are painted because of the airbrushing and everything. So some will be thicker than others. There will be slight variations in texture, in how well they're blended versus not. And then some of that is also just wear and tear on the pets too, like this one has some scuffs on the mouth, this one doesn't. But you can still see there's a visible difference between the fake's paint and the real one's paint, both of the real one's paint. There's also a detail in a lot of fakes that their paint do not match color-wise. So like her ear and nose are one color, and then her legs and tail are another, whereas on the authentic pet, only her tail is a slightly different color, everything else matches. So that is another distinction, and there you can see like the printed eyes, but we'll go over that a little bit more later. Something else I want to mention, authentic LPS sometimes will have like bleeding paint, so you can see where the color is like seeping off of where it's supposed to be, which is normal, and you can, if that bothers you, you can fix it with some acetone, but I personally leave it because a lot of authentic LPS have this, and it just, to me, it's an identifier whether they're authentic or not, because there's proof of the hand painting and everything. The next things that you can look at are the eyes, the plastic, and the size. So what I mean by that is, like with fake LPS, they typically have much smaller eyes than the authentic ones. And also, for some reason, all of the fakes that I have are either much smaller or much bigger than the authentic LPS. So you can look at those details. You can see like these fake dachshunds are much smaller than the authentic ones. These fake Great Danes are slightly taller than the authentic ones. Like these aren't the same ones, but like this one's fake, this one's real, this one's real, this one's fake. So that is another way that you can tell. And what I mean with the plastic is that fake LPS will either be really, really hard plastic or really squishy plastic. Authentic LPS are like a mix in between. If you squish it, it has a little bit of give, like you can feel it kind of moving beneath your fingers, but it does harden up. So like if you're softening your pets for a peg swap, you can feel how soft they get and then how they harden up. But fake LPS typically don't have any give at all, or they have too much give and you can just invert their head like a Barbie's. Some more facts on the eyes that you can look at. Fake LPS tend to have sticker eyes, so they are just printed on, kind of like the new G7 pets. And authentic LPS have painted eyes, so you can see their eyelashes will be a bit softer, not quite as sharp. And authentic LPS eyes are either quite glossy or they are matte, and there is no in between. Fake LPS have this weird in-between shine to them, which comes from them being stickers, I believe. But you can see the difference here in painted versus printed. And fake LPS colors are usually quite different from the real ones when you see them in comparison. Like when I got this fake, I was younger and I was obsessed with this LPS. So I thought she was so gorgeous and that she was like so similar to the real one. And then I got the real one and I was like, oh, she's like yellow. So there are some differences in colors there, plastic wise, and also sometimes the fake plastic does not match. So like on him, his head plastic is a slightly different color than his body plastic. So that is another way that you can tell. But yeah, sticker eyes are just printed and quite sharp with the details. They're a mix between matte and glossy, but they don't have like a glossy feel to them or anything, or they're commonly misprinted like this one. And then the authentics are airbrushed and either matte or glossy, softer details, and typically bigger eyes on real LPS than fake ones. Fakes, for some reason, have small eyes. Like this one, she has quite small eyes. As I've mentioned a little bit already, you can use their proportions to determine if an LPS is real or fake, such as if they're smaller or bigger, smaller eyes. But another way that I can tell is by the head shapes. So fake Great Danes, for example, have very square heads, very boxy, and real Great Danes are a little bit wider. Their heads are a little wider than the fakes, and their mouths are slightly deeper. The carving in their mouths is a little bit deeper. And then with like dachshunds, for some reason, fake dachshunds' heads are like squished and long, whereas real dachshunds have smaller heads. Or for example, there's this one. She has a really squished head compared to the authentic ones. You can see that her head is quite wider than this one. Same thing with Cocker Spaniels. For some reason, the fakes' heads are usually wider than the authentic ones, but they're also like shorter. They're not as tall as the authentics. Again, with the smaller eyes, sharper details, no airbrushing. And something I wanted to point out about fake short hairs is that their heads tend to be quite square and also squished. So their faces are very flat and their cheeks don't really stick out from their heads. Whereas with authentic short hairs, their heads are a little bit wider and they have some more cheek depth, a little more dimension in their face versus fake pets. I like using Brooke for these examples because she is just, it's easier to see on her, I think, what I'm meaning. But yeah, you can see that her cheeks tend to stick out like that. And on fake LPS, they do not. They have very flat heads, very squished and flattened. And real short hairs are a little rounder and just a little fuller all around. The next thing that we can look at are paw holes, magnets, and neck ridges. So most authentic LPS have this slight ridge on their necks around where their pegs are, and fake LPS do not. Their heads are simply flat. Now, on some authentic LPS, this ridge is not as visible as on others, but it is usually there. You can tell that it is present. It might just be slight, like this one. Authentic short hairs also tend to have very small neck ridges like this. It's barely visible, but it is there, whereas this one does not have one at all. So neck ridges are usually something to look out for. It's just a little extra piece of plastic that you can see hanging off from their neck plug, and you can feel it when you touch it, whereas with fakes, it won't be there at all. And then we can look at their paw holes. So some authentic LPS have magnets, some have holes. At a distance, they look the same, they're both a hexagon. However, if you look closer on authentic LPS, they have this slight circular indentation around the top of, around the top of their paw hole. And it's very, very slight, but you can see that it's there. Whereas with fake LPS, they do not tend to have that. It is just a hexagon. One example, this pet, this fake, he does kind of have it, but do you see how the hexagon is all the way at the back of his paw and the circle extends that far? That is not how it looks on real LPS. They have a slight circle at the top, and then the hexagon begins immediately behind the circle. So it is not that exaggerated, and it's also not non-existent on real LPS. Alternatively, some fakes also just have circular holes, not hexagons at all, which is another way that you can tell because authentic LPS do not just have regular circles. They have slight circles with the hexagon. Some fake LPS will also have magnets in their paws like authentic ones would, but you can usually tell that they are not authentic because they will be different colors, or like with this one, some of them will have white magnets. No authentic LPS has a white magnet that I know of, So if your pet has a white magnet, it's most likely fake. And then some other authentic LPS will have red magnets. And you can just tell these have little paw prints on them most of the time. Sometimes they do break like that. So if you do get an LPS that has a magnet and you're not sure if it's real or not, then you can look back at the other things we discussed, the eyes, the painting, the neck pegs, and the neck ridges. And if all of those are non-existent or have variations from what an authentic pet would look like, then your pet is fake and they just added a magnet to it. So just to recap, here are the questions that you can ask when you're looking at an LPS trying to determine if it's real or fake. Is the peg clear, or was the LPS made after 2009? You can Google the answers to that. If you're not sure if your LPS should have a white peg or not, you can always Google when that pet was released. And if it was 2009 or after, it might be authentic with a white peg. Does it have helicopter head? Are the details printed or airbrushed? Is it hard or soft plastic, or perfectly in between, which real LPS should be? Are the eyes glossy or matte, or glossy and matte? Do they have the correct body proportions? Do their plastics and paint match all the way around? Is their paw hole just a hexagon, just a circle, or a circle with a hexagon? And lastly, does the pet have a visible neck ridge? Those are the key questions that you can ask yourself, and I will put them here so that you can screenshot them. And then I'm also going to include a list of real versus fake details for you guys to screenshot as well. Here is that list of differences between real pets and fake pets for you guys to screenshot. So I will let that sit up here for just a minute. And if there's any that I missed, any that you know of that help you, please feel free to comment them. And like I said, if there's a lot of them, then I might make a part 2 to this. This is just based off of my knowledge and what I've learned so far as an LPS collector and what I've learned from verified authenticators. And again, if you've gone through these lists and you still can't tell and you're worried that you might get scammed out of a lot of money or out of a trade, then please do not hesitate. Post it in an LPS Facebook group or on TikTok or something, and ask for the verified authenticators within the community to help you out. I hope that this will be helpful to you guys, and I will see you next time.